Do you think we have a point system problem in the UFC? Do you like the 10-9? Because there's been a couple times, even throughout this podcast, that we're arguing against this almost. Not, we didn't say anything about 10-9, but we
Yeah.
do have like it's
The
hard to
10-9.
like give a correct point value per round for these fighters and understanding how much value do you put on the ground game, how much value do you put on a stand-up game, how much value do you put on pressure, non-pressure. I mean, when people are on their back, a lot of people think they're not being the active
Mhm.
fighter, but a lot of the times they are. Sometimes being on the back is the
Yeah.
better
Well, if
position.
you're the guy on top and you're not doing it, you're not progressing towards a submission, and you're not landing damage, if the guy on the bottom is just
Yeah.
doing this, just hand like patty cake, pancaking you, but if you're just grappling and moving from like side mount to mount to half, like if you're just doing that and you're not putting damage, then yeah, the guy on the bottom is going to win. Damage first. Defense is its own reward. Damage is what's scored. As for the 10-9 system, yeah, I mean, the problem with it is also the thing that makes it good. And that is the rules give the judges the latitude. So a 10 and a 9 can be very close, and a 9 and an 8 can be very close. A 9, it could be, wow, you just got your ass kicked, but you didn't get dropped and you didn't get too wobbled, but damn, I don't know if you landed a single punch in that round. You know, that can be a 10-9. You know what I mean? So, that's the problem. And, hey, there are 9-9s. There are 10, you can score a 10-10 if the round's too close. Normally people don't do that.
Yeah.
So, so the 10-9 system, it is good because it gives the latitude, but when you're saying the scores at the end of the fight, it doesn't necessarily reflect how that fight got actually played. And you look at the classic examples of Nate Diaz landing the big shot on Leon Edwards in the final minutes of the fight, rocked him, and instead of pointing and laughing, he could have closed distance and maybe got the finish. And then everyone says, well, or in so many 3-round fights, one guy wins the first 2 rounds clearly, gasses, and then just is trying desperately to survive the mauling he's getting in the third round. Anyone that's been watching for 5 years has seen a fight like that. It happens very commonly. And if you go back to another promotion way back in the day, they had a different scoring system that reflected those types of fights better, and that was Pride. Pride, basically you had the 10-minute first round, and but they didn't score the fights as each individual round. It's like, if you're beating the guy at the end and he's barely surviving, you won the fight, because if there was no time limit and no ref, you would have won that fight. And that's how the whole fight rules that Pride did. It was good. Absolutely, there are problems with Pride scoring as well. So it's one of those things where it's like, but how do you change it? Like, what's the action? I know some people talks about, well, introduce half points, and it's like, well, it's kind of one of those things where it is what it is, and I don't feel like anyone got robbed this
No,
time.
nobody
And it's
got
like,
robbed on this fight, but it's just one of those.
so
It's always a question in the back of my head when I watch a lot of these fights. I just think that they need to implement and be more loose with it, allowing 10-8s to be scored more often instead of it being like it has to be a 10-9. I'm like, dude, no, the other guy connected twice and the other guy connected 100 times, and you're still doing it a
yeah, and
10-9. That's ridiculous.
and that is a show. Thank you so much for watching Flamingo Fight Talk. We appreciate you, and we'll see you next.
Please follow us on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and Spotify. Be on the lookout for our YouTube Live. See you next time. Stay on the Flamingo side. Peace.